guys, and welcome to the Fish Room. I'm Rachel O'Leary, and it's time for a species spotlight. Now, as you guys know, I have a fondness for dwarf cichlids, and it can be a real challenge to find fish that do well, which is why I love pencilfish so much. Today we're going to talk about the barred pencilfish, Nannostomus espei, and they are probably my favorite. Well, I know I say that about a lot of fish, but these guys are really unique, super tiny, pretty rare, a little bit expensive, but absolutely phenomenal. So let's take a look and I'll show you more about them. Now, if you guys remember, with a lot of the pencils at night they get a diurnal coloration, meaning they get that barred appearance, vertical bars, which is a dramatic change from their daytime appearance. This fish is unique, and it's the only one that has that diurnal appearance, those vertical bars, all the time. And these guys get their name, the four-barred pencil or barred pencil, because of that. And you can see that readily obvious on these guys. In my mind, they're an extremely subtle beauty, having almost a golden iridescence and that really beautiful barring. As you can see, like all other pencils of Nannostomus, they have that super teeny mouth. After all, Nannostomus means small mouth. As I mentioned in my intro, these guys are really rare, and that's probably because they come from Guyana. And Guyana borders the Atlantic Ocean right above Brazil, and it's one of the smaller South American states. I think it's the fourth smallest, and there's not a whole lot of consistent export, which means these guys are really rare, and because of that they have a bit of a hefty price tag, anywhere from $10 to $20 a fish. They're one of the smallest pencil fish at just barely 1 inch. They also like pretty warm water, doing best in mid to high 70s all the way to low 80s. These are a fish that comes from sluggish black water tributaries, so they would really love a dark substrate, leaf litter, lots of driftwood, things like that that'll make them feel the most comfortable, and it really makes their color pop. That iridescence and bright eye shows up best in a tank that has some rich dark tannins. They're really easy to feed, pretty much taking anything you offer them. And these are also a fish that are breedable. Now, I haven't bred this fish yet, but I plan to work with this group. From what I read, the males can be kind of fractious. They can be kind of nippy to each other during spawning and establishing territories. But what's interesting is that part of courtship is they sort of nudge the females on the head in order to induce spawning. But the most interesting part is that the boys will collect the eggs in their anal fins and then deposit them in small groups of like 20 to 40 on the underside of broad leaves. So using something like a Nubius in a tank for these guys is really critical. These are not mop spawners like a lot of other species. They deliberately place the eggs, and to me that's really fascinating. I've also read that they can be pretty picky about spawning partners, so it's a good idea to get a decent group, not only because they're a shoaling fish, but in order to encourage that spawning behavior. The fry hatch in about 24 hours, at which time you would need to offer them super teeny foods, things like microworms, infusoria. Now, these guys would do awesome in a community South American tank with other small tetras, Coreodoras, Apistogrammas, or the like. They like gentle filtration, so I would avoid anything that has any amount of flow, or you probably would never see them. As with any pencil, they are prone to stay towards the top water, so either a lot of floating plant cover or a lid is a really good idea. All in all, I just think they are an absolutely stunning fish. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Nannostomus espei. As always, if you have any comments, suggestions, or questions, let me know below. And as always, please stop by my Instagram, Facebook, and website, MsJinx.com, where you can find my upcoming speaking engagements, my current stock list, and information on all things